Good afternoon. Today is the 9th of December, although you'll be seeing this probably a few days after that, unless you're a channel member. And it's time to look at the top 10 best-selling cars of November 2022. Those of you who are new to this video series, what we do, and we've been doing this for about 4 years now, is to look at the top 10 best-selling cars of each month from the SMMT data, which is published at the beginning of each month for the month previous. Now, they're actually registrations, they're not sales. So, for example, there are some cars now that you would try to order today and they would come in a year. Now, the deposit was taken the previous year, but the cars have been registered. So I will say sales. That's just a lot easier for me to say and remember, but it actually does technically mean registrations, just so that's clear. The way that this works is I will look at the data. We'll first of all look at the percentage change in the private, fleet and business sectors. Then we will look at the change in the top 10 bestsellers for this month. There's one or two surprises there, and then we'll look at brands. We'll see how each individual brand is actually doing, which I find very interesting. Some of you also do. There's people who always tell me when I make these videos that that is their favourite type of video of all. Some of you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. But those of you who are really enthusiastic about it, or those of you who are just curious, let's start by looking at the private sector. Now, this makes up, in terms of its market share, about 45% of all sales, but actually down considerably from a year ago, from November 21, when it made up 54%. So the fleet sector has considerably recovered. They've gone from 44% to 52% of new car sales. The number of cars sold in the private sector has actually increased slightly, although the market share has decreased. That's obviously indicative of the fact that actually there are a lot more cars that have been sold in November 2022 as opposed to November 2021. In fact, it's about 24% more. Number of ones in the private sector has gone from 63,000 to 64,000. The percentage change, an increase, is about 2.7%. The fleet sector, though, is up by 45%, from 51,000 to 74,000. The business market share has not changed a huge deal. It has increased a little bit. It's gone from 1.8% to 3.1%. And the number of cars sold has gone from 2,000 to 4,400. So that's actually looking very positive. In terms of the fuel mix, there is a reason why we don't talk about diesels on this channel, viewers. It's because they're just becoming less and less relevant to the new car market. So they do have certain uses and applications, such as very large cars or people who wanting to do very, very high mileage. But the market share has even decreased from last year. It's gone from 5% to 4%. It's actually decreased by about 6%. So the number of cars sold has gone from 5,900 to 5,600. And percentage change is about 6% down. Petrol has decreased a little bit, but not as much as you might think, actually. Now, the market share has gone down from 43% to 40%, but the number of cars overall has gone up from 50,000 to 58,000. And that's a 50% increase. Now, it doesn't keep pace with the overall change in the market, which is why it's actually, not an increase in market share. Nevertheless, it's interesting. Mild hybrid, forbidden fuel cars, that seems to be the way that people are getting around a lot of these emissions regulations that are coming in. They have outsold the ones with no hybrid assistance. They've totally outsold them. Their percentage of the market share is now 4.3%, actually more. It's not surprising, really, considering what's coming around the corner, where all non-electrified cars will be banned from selling in this country in 2030, supposedly. The only ones that will remain with combustion engines are allegedly some mild hybrids, but that's actually not been confirmed. So there's a big push to electric. It has been for a long time. It's amazing how much the sales mix has changed in the last 4 years I've been making these videos. So yes, 4.5% of market share in 2021 to 4.3%, with a mild hybrid forbidden fuel engines. That's a 19% increase, gone from 5,200 to 6,100. Mild hybrid petrol, a very, very big percentage of the market now. It's about 12.5%. It used to be 10.7% in November 2021. It's a change of 45% up. The number of cars sold has gone from 12,000 to 18,000. So it's a big increase. Battery electric cars, that's everything now from Teslas to MGs to Volkswagens to some Fords now even. This has increased not as much as you might think. The market share has gone from 90% to about 21%, a little bit of an increase. But percentage change overall is about 35% in terms of number of cars sold, which has gone from 22,000 to 29,000. Plug-in hybrids, this has actually decreased, both in terms of the overall number of cars sold and the market share. It's gone from 9.3% in November 2021 to 7% now. Percentage change is about 6% down, because the number of cars sold has gone from about 11,000 to about 10,000. And hybrid electric vehicles, that's things like the Toyota Corollas, some of the high-end Ioniqs, Suzuki's are either mild hybrid or full hybrid. The full hybrid ones are distinct from the mild hybrid ones. They've actually increased quite a lot. The market share is up to 11% from 8%. Percentage change is 67% more cars. So it's about 10,000 to 16,000. Let's now look at the bit that most of you actually probably clicked on this video to hear, and that is that we have the top 10 bestsellers of the month, and it's a very strange top 10. The first place is the Nissan Qashqai 5636. Second is the Tesla Model Y 4229. That'll be because a boatload of Teslas, quite literally a boatload of Teslas, have been registered last month. There probably won't be another one, so they won't go up ranking particularly. But when the Teslas come in, they skew the results massively. So because of that boatload that's come in, that is now the 9th best-selling car of the year. Next is the Mini 3312, so quite a decrease. Next is the Fiesta. Fiesta's been in the top 10 for a number of months now, actually. I think it's just because, well, the orders have finally been fulfilled. It's not because people have started ordering because they know it's been discontinued at some point early next year. I think it's literally because this is the backlog of orders now being registered. So it's 2869. Fifth is the Corsa, which is maybe not actually going to get the top best-selling car of this year, because we've had supply issues with it, and the Qashqai is actually taking it over. We might see that change for December though. Next is the Golf, perennial favourite, 2516. Of course, it was 2537. Then the Ford Puma, very close to Fiesta, and you know they'll keep selling that Puma when the Fiesta is discontinued. 2408. Then the T-Roc, which is based on the Golf platform, T2370. Then the Polo, 2277, and then finally the Yaris, only 5 behind the Polo, 2272. Lloyd Vehicle Consulting stickers, t-shirts and mugs are available by clicking the link to the Google form in the video description below. Let's now go on to my favourite part of these videos, where we look at how each individual brand is doing in the market. So as with always, we start out the order with Abarth. Now the Stellantis brand apparently have been having lots of supply issues over the last couple of months, and so some of them aren't doing particularly well. Abarth has actually had an increase. It's a very small increase. It's 5 cars compared with November 2021. Nevertheless, that's good. 95 cars sold in November 21, 100 cars sold last month. Very good. Market share is now 0.08%. It's a change of 5% up. Alfa Romeo, obviously affected by the supply shortages, it's quite a decrease. It was 150 cars sold last November. Last month is 80. Percentage change is 47% down. Market share has gone from 0.13 to 0.06. Alpine, they hardly sell any cars in this country, unfortunately. Number of cars sold has increased very slightly from 26 to 30, but that's still 0.02% of the market regardless. Audi, very good month for Audi, well above the 24% or so rise in the market. Gone from 7,400 cars in November 21 to last month just short of 11,000. That is a 49% increase, and market share has gone from 6.4% to 7.7%. Bentley, very small drop, not significant, gone from 168 to 149. I'm not going to talk too much about them. BMW actually been outsold by Audi, which doesn't normally happen actually. In November 21, they sold 9,000 cars. Last month, they sold just over 10,000 cars. The market share has actually decreased very slightly because the percentage change overall is about 24, and the percentage change number is 14. So it's gone from 7.79 to 7.18% of the market. Citroen, now we see here quite a big decrease. It's not good really. Minus 13%, 1.92% of the market to 1.35, and 2216 versus 1926 cars sold. Cupra though, Volkswagen brand, similar to Seat, but not quite the same, of course. 49% increase. Their market share has gone from 0.73 to 0.87. Number of cars sold has gone from 839 to 1246. Dacia, an enormous increase for Dacia. I think what's happened is that they're making Dacia like a priority at the moment, because for a while the Kia Picanto was the cheapest car in this country. They already stripped out one with no air conditioning and no alloy wheels and things like that, was the cheapest car in this country. Dacia have now reintroduced a really cheap variant. It's about £12,500. It's quite a lot more than when the current generation Sandero came out, but it's still the cheapest car in this country. Their sales are up 160%. The number of cars sold has gone from 1241 to 3229, and the market share has gone from 1.07 to 2.26. Remarkable. Dacias doesn't seem to have been affected by these component shortages as other Stellantis brands have been. So they've had a 70% increase. The number of cars sold has gone from 257 to 437, and the market share has gone from 1.2. Gone from has gone from 0.22 to 0.31. Sorry, I was reading the wrong column for a second there. Number of cars sold has gone from 257 to 437. So they've got a 0.31% market share. Unfortunately, Stellantis, other brands have been affected quite badly. Fiat, it's not gone well. It's not gone well for them at all. It's a 39% decrease. They were 1.17% of the market. They're now on 0.58. Number of cars sold has gone from 1350 to 822. Ford, a huge renaissance. Number of cars sold has gone from 5247 to 11078. That's a 111% increase. And the market share has gone from 4.5 to 7.8. Which is great. They're not the best-selling brand of this month, but they are kind of coming back. Genesis, they've only registered 200 cars in the last month, but it's still a 765% increase on last year. I think only press cars registered, but they're still quite a minority brand, despite the fact their cars are really good. Honda had a good month, 61% increase. Their market share has gone from 1.01 to 1.31. Number of cars sold has gone from 1867 to 1163. Hyundai, not the best month for Hyundai. I don't know why. Weirdly, in this country, as I've said many times before, we favour Kia, probably because of the 7-year warranty, as opposed to Hyundai's 5-year warranty. Kia is doing really well, Hyundai not so much. They have had a 10% decrease, which in a market that's up by 24% is quite significant, unfortunately. Their market share has dropped from 5.7 to 4.1. Number of cars sold has gone from 65.62 to 59.22. Jaguar, not good. Again, weirdly, Land Rover's doing a lot better than them. Jaguar's gone from 1340 cars sold to 736, and market share has dropped from 1.16 to 0.52. That's a 45% decrease. Jeep, another Stellantis brand, very minority brand in this country now. They sold under 100 cars last month. They sold 96. When November 21, they sold 155. The market share has dropped from 0.13 to 0.07. It's a 38% decrease. Kia, though, although they're not quite keeping pace with what the market is at 24%, they sold 90% more cars than November 2021. Market share has dropped very slightly from 5.5 to 5.3. Number of cars sold has increased from 6,400 to 7,600. Land Rover, a very good month for them. They are ahead of the overall trend. 26% increase. Market share has gone from 2.4% to close to 2.5%. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,800 to 3,500. Lexus, a very good month for Lexus, 128% up. The market share has gone from 0.42 to 0.77. Number of cars sold has gone from 481 to 1097. Maserati, tiny little sales in this country, 31 cars sold last month. I'm not going to go into detail about them, actually. Mazda, they've had a good month. I don't know if this is to do with the introduction of the rebadged Toyota Yaris Hybrid as a Mazda 2 as well, when the old Mazda 2 is also on sale. It's very confusing. You can have a Mazda 2 Hybrid and then a normal Mazda 2 as well. You can have either if you want, but whatever strategy they've got seems to be working. Might also be because the CX-60 is now on sale. So 52% increase. The market share has gone from 1.26 to 1.55, and number of cars sold has gone from 1453 to 2214. Mercedes-Benz, unfortunately, it's not going well for them. It's not the same sort of increase that we're seeing with BMW and Audi. It's 29% down. Number of cars sold has gone from 7329 to 5193, and the percentage has gone from 6.33% of the market to 3.63. MG, predictably, not quite as much of a sales increase as I would expect, but their sales, I think, overall are up by something like 70% this year, which is mad. They've outsold brands like Peugeot, Renault, Skoda, Suzuki. They've outsold loads of different brands. I've just filmed 2 brand new electric MGs actually quite recently for True Jacket Reviews, and I hope you enjoy those videos. Their market share has actually decreased very slightly because they're not at the 24% that they would need to be at pace for the overall market, but nevertheless they've gone from 4,200 cars sold to about 5,100, and their market share remains stable at about 3.5%. Mini didn't sell as many cars as MG, but nevertheless they had a slight increase of about 5%. Number of cars sold has gone from 4691 to 4917, and their market share has gone from just over 4% to just over 3.5%. Nissan, quite a good month for Nissan actually. Must be to do with things like the Ariya, which must be on sale now. The Qashqai also, well, that's the best-selling car of the month, so maybe that's something to do with it as well. So 85% increase. Market share has gone from 4.3 to 6.4. Number of cars sold has gone from about 5,000 to about 9,200. That's almost rivaling people like BMW. I think that's more than Mercedes-Benz. It's way more than Mercedes-Benz. BMW just over 10,000, so not far off that. So it's very, very good. Aura, we're going to skip them because although they will sell a lot more cars in the future, they haven't sold many at all, because I think there are only 5 cars registered on UK road, presumably it's press cars. Peugeot, not very good. Less than half the sales of something like MG, 54% decrease. Number of cars sold has gone from 5,193 to 2,387. The market share has dropped from 4.5 to 1.7, which is huge. Polestar, they are a brand of the same family as Volvo, but not Volvos, if that makes sense. It should be more performance orientated and are exclusively electric cars. 115% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 580 to 1247. Percentage of market share has gone from 0.5 to 0.87. Porsche, it's gone from 1795 to 2057, which is a 14.6% increase. A number of cars sold, sorry, the market share has gone from 1.55 to 1.44. So we haven't quite kept pace with the overall market trend, but very good nevertheless. Renault, unlike Dacia, they've not had a massive increase. They've had a slight decrease. It's not massive, it's around 50 cars less, but because the market is up overall, it leads to a decrease of 1.66%. The market share has gone from 2.35 to 1.87. Number of cars sold has gone from over 2,700, just under 2,700. Seat, it's not looking good at Seat, particularly in comparison with Skoda, and they sit next to each other in the table actually. So last month, Seat sold 1,700 cars. The year before, in November 21, they'd sold 2,000 cars. Their market share slipped from 1.7 to 1.2%. Yeah, it's a minus 14% figure in market share. Contrast to Skoda, 52% increase. Market share has gone from 2.7 to 3.3. Number of cars sold has gone from 3091 to 4694. Now, that's not as impressive as MG, but still, that's quite good figures for Skoda. I've not ever seen quite so many before in like a normal month, as opposed to like March or September. Smart's still very much a minority brand. I think I'm probably going to skip them for now. SsangYong, I don't know why they've had such a bad month. I don't understand. As a SsangYong owner myself, I was hoping that the new management that's just come in for SsangYong would see a bit of an increase. That hasn't happened yet. I know that the electric Carano, the E-Motion, should be on sale, but it's not at the moment. Having supply issues with it. We need to really help them at the moment, but never mind, there we go. So it's a 47% decrease. So market shares slipped from 0.13 to 0.06. The number of cars sold has gone from 156 to 83. Subaru, they have had a much better month. I don't know particularly why, but they have. The market shares remain relatively stable, about 0.13, 0.14%. Number of cars sold has gone from 165 to 186. It's a 30% increase. Suzuki, after many months of decline for some reason in this country, maybe that advertising campaign talks about hybrid as standard has had an effect. They've gone 47% increase. Their market share has gone from 0.82 to 0.97. Number of cars sold has gone from 945 to 1388. Tesla, they've had a 96% increase. That might possibly be just to do with when the boats come in, both the cars on them, I don't know. Market share has gone from 2.6%, what's 2.66, to 4.2. Number of cars sold has basically almost doubled from 3,000 to 6,000. Toyota, a very big brand in this country, they have gone from 6,567 cars sold in November 21 to last month 8,067. The market share has very slightly decreased because they have had a 23% increase rather than a 24% increase, but it's remained stable at about 5.7%. Vauxhall, not quite as many as I would have expected, to the Stellantis kind of component shortages, I think. They have gone from 7015 cars sold to 6598. That is a 6% market share down to 4.6, and it's about a 6% decrease overall. Volkswagen, I told you that Ford had been outsold by someone, and in fact it's Volkswagen. They have had a 60% increase. The number of cars sold has gone from 86,34 to 13,757. An amazing figure for something like November. Yeah, the market share has grown from 7.5% to about 10%, which is very good. Volvo, I don't know why they have seen a slight decrease. It's not a very big decrease, about 50 cars. I mean, you're selling almost 4,000 cars a month. It's not a massive change. But the problem is that sort of meant that their market share has dropped from 3.3% to 2.6%, just because the market overall is up. So yes, about a 24% increase. It's actually close to 23.5, but I'm calling it 24 because I like round numbers. So there we go, that was the top 10 best-selling cars of November 2022. I do hope that you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you soon for more not very penetrative market analysis.